Hello everyone, what's happening? This is Forgo, and today we're going to do some pretty wacky stuff. We're going to be doing a clear with this team right here. Now, we've been doing the one-shots, and I always try to think outside the box and do something different than what you normally see. And I thought this was a pretty cool team to throw together. Now, ever since the striker change, things have just been completely different. You really can't rely on all defense down strikers to do a lot of damage over a long period of time, especially if you have low resist levels, low conquer levels in your world boss. However, when you have a team like this who has a character like Winter Soldier who has a lot of all defense down on his tier 3, and then you have Weapon Hex who also has her all defense down that goes up to 100%, when they're playable characters, you can always use their maximum output of all defense down throughout the entire 5-minute period against world boss. Now Ebony is here for our crowd control and for a little extra damage. Now you have to have this uniform for this to work, but with this uniform, Ebony actually increases damage to universal and decreases damage from universal types by 25%. This is very useful against world bosses other than the mutant world bosses. So against the mutant world bosses, it won't work so well, but against the regular world bosses, as long as you're doing the right character. For example, an energy attacking character against Cull, Ebony, physical attacking characters against Corvus, Proxima, things like that. And because we're going to be using Winter Soldier, who's a physical attacking character, we're going to be just doing a clear against Proxima. The other thing about Ebony that's really nice is that CC that he has from his third skill. This is a 10-second mind control. You can pretty much keep this thing up most of the time because Winter Soldier, the thing about the character is he lacks a lot of survivability. He can die in the blink of an eye. And with this character, with Ebony on the team, you're actually going to help prevent that. Plus, you're going to prevent your world boss from iframing, moving around, as long as you get your mind control right before you switch to Weapon Hex to apply her 100% all defense down, and then switch to Winter Soldier and apply his tier 3, the world boss will be under mind control. They're not going to be able to move around. The other thing that's nice about this is Proxima has a frenzy buff, and whenever she gets that, no matter how much all defense down you apply, no matter how much damage you apply, you're just not going to do any damage to her. But as long as you can mind control her before she goes in that frenzy buff, you'll actually prevent the frenzy buff from happening, and you'll be able to apply your all defense down and do that much more damage. And the thing I like about this team is it's pretty unorthodox. It's just not a team you normally see, and we will do a stage 70 against Proxima. And it really wasn't that difficult. It took me about 3 or 4 tries. Now, as far as the build, my Winter Soldier has 36,400 physical attack. He has 123 attack speed, 63 crit rate, 197 critical damage. Okay stats, pretty decent stats. He has max ignore defense and max skill cooldown. All of his gear are 25. He's a tier 3 obviously, and he isn't fully optimized by any means. He just has physical or 5-star Urus on him, and even all of his slots aren't amplified. So I could put a little bit more love in this guy, but I'm probably not going to because I just don't play Winter that much. However, with this team up, I probably would play him more often if I'm trying to do a higher world boss clear against Proxima and maybe even Corvus as well, because Winter does have 100% ignore dodge on his 4th skill. However, because Ebony would be on the team, you would want to use ignore dodge strikers. That way you can still apply the mind control from Ebony, because if you don't have 80% ignore dodge, 70 to 80% ignore dodge for Ebony, then Corvus is just going to dodge the mind control attack. So that's why we're just going to be going against Proxima. If we were going against Corvus, it'd be a different team up, or not a different team up, but we'd be using different strikers. He has a stage 7 overdrive set. It's not even a fully awakened iso-8 set. And he has a CTP of energy with a 200% damage proc. And you don't need a CTP. You could absolutely use a critical damage with a regular damage proc obelisk. You don't need a CTP of rage. However, with the CTP of rage, it would be easier. But you'll see that Winter can definitely do this. It's not that difficult because you're going to keep the world boss under mind control from Ebony. He does have a mythic uniform. And for his uniform options, Winter has Sharon's old uni here, Shuri's, Black Panthers, Falcons, and then we have some physical attack from Captain America, the Winter Soldier uniform, which is pretty outdated. I think it's still for crystals, actually. I'm not really sure. And when we go into World Boss here, You know, we'll be taking on Proxima. We'll be doing a stage 70. And by the way, the other thing that's nice is Winter Soldier does have this 30% increase of physical attack leadership. So you want him in the leadership role for sure, because Ebony just has the energy attack. That won't help Winter at all. So you're better off to set it up this way. And as far as the strikers, we will use anti-venom. You want heals for Winter. Absolutely. And then we got 4 characters that deal damage to super villains, and you don't have to have these as long as you have any character that has the tag increased damage dealt to super villain type by 10% normally is what it's going to be, or an increase to physical attack striker. That would work as well. Now I pre-recorded this video because, like I said, it did take me 3 or 4 tries to do it. So let's jump into the action and let's rock and roll. So the trickiest thing about this is keeping Winter alive. So the first thing you want to do is you want to start off and you want to hit the 3rd skill first, then you to get your immunity, then hit your 5th skill, then your 4th skill, and then your 1. Don't even use the 2. You see it's kind of hard to hit, and you just kind of want to run around, try to avoid taking any damage. And as soon as that immunity gets up from the 3rd, hit the 3rd, 5-4. As soon as the tier 3's off cooldown, switch to Ebony. Get your mind control, switch back to Weapon Hex. Then you're going to use your 4 skill. As soon as there's 1 second left on the attack cooldown for Winter to come back in, hit the 5-4, then switch, hit the 5, and then hit the tier 3. The reason I hit the 5 is to do extra damage, and I also hit the, and also to help trigger the proc. If you just hit the tier 3 after you switch to Winter Soldier, the proc doesn't seem to want to trigger very often. At least it didn't for all the testing that I did. So I liked to hit that 5th skill because it seems to help trigger the proc. And that's pretty much as easy as it is. Here we go. Now it is, you know, it's a somewhat difficult thing to do because you are switching your characters back and forth. However, if you want to take your time, you could actually use that when you switch to Ebony, mind control Proxima once, and then wait a little bit, and then mind controller again. Now in the first couple rotations, I just go ahead, mind controller once with Ebony, and then switch to Weapon Hex and Winter Soldier, and do that a couple times. But as you'll see later in the fight, I'll actually use Ebony. Like right now, I'm going to use his mind control twice. Here we go. We just used it twice, and we got 10 seconds of mind control. We hit the 5-4 from Weapon Hex, then we hit the 5 and then the tier 3. Now watch this, and boom shaka laka. Oh yeah. Now I'm just trying to get those skills off cooldown for Winter Soldier there. Here we go. And that really is the trickiest thing, is just trying to make sure he stays alive. Here we go. Once you use the mind control, it's not that difficult. And you see, look what I'm doing. I'm kind of waiting around. You want to avoid the tornadoes. As soon as that mind control is ready, we're going to hit it again. We did get snared, no big deal. And we're going to mind control. We're going to switch Weapon X, hit the 5-4. You don't have to hit the 5. I just like you to get that immunity. Here we go. And boom. Look at that. Look at that. Now you could probably go a little bit higher than this, but there's a lot of RNG in these kind of runs. Things can happen. So I think this is more of a safer place for him to be. But stage 70 is pretty damn awesome. Pretty freaking awesome, especially with this team. Okay, so there we didn't get the mind control because Proxima was in an iframe. So we're going to run around. There you see the purple. We got to run away. So we got a little unlucky right there. She threw down the purple again. She threw down her spear anyways. Now we're going to get her. We're going to wait. Okay, now we're going to get her. Boom, mind control. Switch, 5-4. Switch to Winter Soldier, 5, tier 3. And boom. And yeah, that was kind of a waste, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Sometimes in the heat of the moment, you gotta jump the gun a little bit. But it's all good. We're still going to get it done. Here we go. Come on. Run around. And I just thought this was really cool to do something like this because it is very different from what we normally do. I mean, it's similar, of course, but it's just different. All right, watch out. And it also makes Winter Soldier pretty fun to play and actually increases his survivability with this kind of team up. It also makes good use of Ebony as well. I hardly ever use Ebony for anything, so it's kind of nice to use him as well. We did get time frozen, which sucks. And you're not worried about timing a proc or anything when you're using Winter, except for when you use this tier 3. That's the only time you really care about timing that proc. Here we go. We're going to wait. The frenzy buff is not up, so we want to make sure she stays under mind control. So we're going to do it again. Boom. So early on in the fight, we would mind control just one time, and then later on in the fight, we're doing it twice. Come on, come on. Ah, we didn't quite get it. So with a minute left, we still have half a bar to go. So it's possible that he could have done stage 70 in 4 minutes. A little bit better run, a little bit better timed procs. Could have definitely done it. Which is pretty freaking insane. Boom, mind control. And that's all right. We got snared, no big deal. We got the mind control already up on Proxima. We're going to do it again, and then we have her. And boom, shakalaka. Okay. And sometimes the 5 will trigger the proc. You know, if you're having problems, maybe just use the tier 3. So I thought this was spectacular for Winter Soldier to be able to still do stage 70 with this unlikely team. So let me know what y'all think about Winter Soldier taking down stage 70. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.